Well, this is a bit of a different camera angle now, isn't it? Because, well, the situation is I have been in Florida for the past week, which is why I haven't uploaded any videos. But that has not kept me from the news, as I have been watching at least some of it. For the most part, I've been watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, because as I was leaving, it was about to come to the end, and jury deliberations were going to start just the next week. And over the past week, jury deliberations have now ended, and Kyle Rittenhouse has been cleared of all charges, which I, to start off here, am very grateful for. It cannot be understated just how happy I was when I found out this was happening. I mean, when I found out the news, I had just gotten off some ride in Florida when suddenly I saw a notification on my phone that Kyle Rittenhouse had been acquitted, which was it made me ecstatic. It almost made me more excited than I was while I was on the very same ride that I had just gone on. And there's something I want to talk about with this trial. I missed the opportunity to talk about the acquittal as its own video, but there's still a very pernicious and pronounced lie that I want to take into consideration here and actually deal with, because despite the fact that there have been many people on the left who are still lying about the basic facts of this case, including some people who still seem to believe that Kyle Rittenhouse killed 3 black people, which is not only the wrong race of people, but also the wrong number, there is one lie that, even for people who have taken back lots of the defamatory things that they have said about Kyle Rittenhouse over the past couple of weeks, they have still not reneged on, and that is the idea that Kyle Rittenhouse should never have been there in the first place, that he put himself in that dangerous situation, and that he never should have done so, because I don't believe that to be the case. Just take into account the context here. We're talking about in August with Kenosha. We're talking about a situation in which there are communist rioters coming across from different cities and, in some cases, different states to come over to burn an entire community down. And the idea from many of these people, which includes far too many people on the right, is that they should have just given them carte blanche, and that Kyle Rittenhouse should have just stayed home and not actually defended his community, because the communists seem to have a right to just go around and burn with complete liability protection, not only from a retribution from the actual residents themselves, but also from the legal system. Because you might notice that even in particularly this case, there has been a bit of selective prosecution with regards to the Kenosha protests. Take, for instance, Gage Grosskreutz, who was the star witness of the prosecution, or I guess the defense by the end, who ended up not being even charged with illegally carrying a firearm without a concealed carry permit, one which he had but was expired during the events of the protest. Now, he claims to have no knowledge of this and pretended that he had no idea it was expired, but I highly doubt that to be to tell the least of it. Think for a moment about exactly what these people are trying to say. When you say that Kyle Rittenhouse had no right to be there, that he shouldn't have been there, and that he was being reckless and dangerous by going to the Kenosha riots, you are saying that communists who are burning down buildings, looting stores, and doing other assorted acts of aggression and, frankly, complete malice have completely the right to do whatever they will, and if the community around them says, well, we don't want that to happen here and we're going to stop you, they're the bad guys according to you. No. Not only was Kyle not in the wrong to go and protect his community, which, yes, Kenosha was his community. He lives 20 miles away. His commute's about the same. It takes the same amount of time for him to get to Kenosha, where he was during the night of the shootings, that it takes for me to go to work every day. It's the same as my commute. So it is his community. The idea that he can't go to his community and protect his community while communists go and burn it down not only was he not doing anything wrong, he was doing something that was actively good. And while there may be a certain subsection of troglodytes who will insist that he is a bad human for doing such, well, that might be the case, but he was certainly a good man for doing so, even despite the fact that by our legal standards, he wasn't a man by that point and was still but a boy. The point being that Kyle was completely in the right. He did nothing wrong whatsoever, and the lie that we should just allow communist subverters and rioters and looters and arsonists to just burn down any city they come across, and that anyone who comes up to them is thus the aggressor in that situation, is something that I just cannot abide by. And that's where I'm going to leave you guys off on this sort of strange, off-the-cuff video. If you enjoyed it, do, in fact, check out me on other platforms. I'm on BitChute, I'm on Brighteon, I'm on Rumble, and all of those sorts of places. It's been a while since I've done this, in case you couldn't notice. I'm KelKidman, this has been Breaking on the Daily, and I'm out.